Kung Fu grip.
Kung Fu grip.
As you can see, I had to use my judo on Gerard.
Yeah, I see that. Gerard's actually gone to pieces here during this interview. Sometimes it happens.
I just got so emo, I fell apart. That's what actually happened.
You got that sad?
That's...
Hello fellow emos and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be diving into one of the most iconic and emo moments in My Chemical Romance's history, the funeral procession they held in 2005 in London. But before we get into today's video, don't forget to subscribe, I post new videos weekly, and as always, MCR5 2024, it is so happening, it is so real, you just gotta sparkle like Bowie in the morning sun, let's go. Okay, let's set the stage. It's 2005 and My Chemical Romance is one of the biggest bands in the scene. Emo in many ways is at its peak popularity.
Why are they great? That's a stupid question.
They seem passionate about what they do. They actually seem to believe in it.
And they care about their fans. They keep saving my life with all the new albums. I'm actually being honest. They've saved my life and I love them.
I myself was emo at this point and a full-fledged fangirl. 2005 is of course the year after My Chemical Romance dropped their iconic album, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, which changed the world forever, let's be honest. The album was extremely commercially successful. It hit number 28 on the US Billboard 200 chart, number 1 in the UK Rock and Metals Albums chart, number 38 on the Australian Albums chart, and number 57 on the German Albums chart. That, of course, is not a complete list, but it demonstrates how internationally successful MCR is at this point. Particularly in the UK, you could say a lot of awful things about us Brits, and you know what, most of it would be true. But we did stand MCR hard, and I think that's beautiful, personally. To support the album in the UK, MCR did a limited set of shows in 2004. They then returned in early 2005 to support Taking Back Sunday, before once again returning to the UK in April of that year. For Gerard's birthday, the band decided to play back-to-back shows at the Astoria, rest in peace, but only after holding a funeral procession for Helena in the streets of London, which, like I said, so iconic and so emo. Who was doing that? No one else was doing it like My Chemical Romance was. Now, let's talk about the funeral procession. So it's April 9th, 2005, which is Gerard's birthday, like I said, and My Chemical Romance stages the mock funeral as a publicity stunt and kind of like an emo statement, I guess you could say. Fans gathered in their masses dressed in their finest funeral attire, which, I mean, it probably was just their regular emo clothing, let's be honest, as the somber yet theatrical yet kind of flamboyant parade went through the streets of London, more specifically Soho Square. The procession started at the historic Astoria, where MCR performed twice that night. The Astoria shows were nothing short of legendary. My Chemical Romance, of course, performed a setlist full of all of the classics. Helena, of course, I'm Not Okay, and Thank You for the Venom. However, despite being such an iconic event, unfortunately not many videos, photos, or articles remain of it. I have pulled together everything I could find, but like I said, it isn't a lot. If you have any additional pieces covering that and you don't want to gatekeep them, please share them, that would be amazing. Or alternatively, if you were there, please drop a comment and talk about your experiences below, because I want to hear your first-hand experience. Like, what was it like taking part in such an iconic event? I found a scan of a Kerrang article that covered the event. I'll read it for you in its entirety. Morning Glory, My Chemical Romance brings some dark drama to London. My Chemical Romance brought an unusual spectacle to the streets of central London on Saturday, April 9th, where they staged a gothic parade inspired by the video for their recent single Helena. Setting off from the Astoria, a vintage hearse was accompanied by actors dressed as Victorian mourners in a slow parade around Soho Square. We have started to do things in a more theatrical sense, explains frontman Gerard Way. There was even an idea where we would have some winners in the coffin, and when we started the set, their climb out is definitely the start of something bigger. Side note, I mean, it does say winners. Competition winners, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. Okay, back to the article. The band recently had the dancers who appeared in the Helena video performing live on stage with them when they played a show at New York's Long Beach Arena on the recent US Taste of Chaos tour. It reminds me some of the very sensational things David Bowie would do, the singer continues. I like things that bring that element back to rock and roll, showmanship and theatre, but not gimmicky, instead more sensational and crazy. I miss that stuff. You don't see it anymore at rock shows. It sets a mood and a vibe. For a long time we wanted to have a hearse follow us on the road and have it at all the shows, Way continues. This idea stemmed back from before we even had a budget. It's kind of like putting your flag in the ground. Because the Astoria show sold out quickly and the band had to fly straight back to America the following day, MCR decided to add a special manatee show at the venue that afternoon to keep up with demand, and it was a feat they pulled off despite struggling with jet lag. Next time we'll have to do 3 shows on top of the tallest skyscraper in London, laughs Way. We're going to have to come up with some way to make it even more challenging. This band is like Harry Houdini, constantly trying to outdo The Last Escape. For a review of My Chemical Romance's London gig by Lost Prophets frontman Ian Watkins, turn to page 16. My Chemical Romance returned to the UK on June 10th for the Download Festival. Yes, that Ian Watkins. I'll put the scan on screen, but I'm not going to read it. Knowing what we know now, it's a little bit weird, but he did give it a positive review, so I guess there's that. Aside from the Kerrang article, the most information we have on the event comes from Life on the Murder Scene. I am going to play the clip now, but I'm so sorry. I had to edit it a lot to get it to pass copyright. I am so sorry.
It's a great way to celebrate my birthday. I think that's one of the main reasons I wanted to do 2 shows in one day. I thought it's a perfect day to do it in London on my birthday. It's kind of exciting. Yeah. It's a great city with a lot of history, great kids. I feel like, I don't know, I'm not even tired. I definitely can do another. The band was playing 2 sold-out shows in London at the Astoria, and the record company wanted to do this funeral procession. And I have no idea why. I think they wanted to see if they could pull it off. And it was just insanity. We've always said we wanted to be more theatrical. So it's actually like less of a start and more of, it's an expression of like what's going on in the band, what's happening live, like how we want to become a more theatrical band. Like there's this huge funeral procession that looks like it's from 1918, moving down the streets in London in the middle of a Saturday afternoon, and then the hearse died, and they had to physically push the hearse the rest of the way. In the fall, we find to our headliner, we'll really be able to bring a lot more of those elements into it. Gerard said, let's look into what we can do to make it sure that as we're growing as a band, our fans are getting their money's worth.
The funeral procession has become somewhat of an urban legend in the My Chemical Romance fandom because it's so over the top and emo, it sounds fake. It does. Like, what is the most emo thing you can do? Hold a fake funeral procession? And they did that. They really did that. And then when you couple it with its lack of documentation, it's mysterious, However, it is a testament to how MCR always go above and beyond to create memorable experiences, and they're so theatrical, and I love them for it. And that's it. That is the end of the video. Sorry it was a short one this week. I really, really wanted to find more on this topic, but I mean, I guess it just got lost to time. But thank you so much for making it this far. As always, if you have any topics you'd like me to discuss, then please let me know down below in the comments. And Kay, thanks. Bye. I guess I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye. Kay. Bye.
Like, you give it your all every night, and to have the kids give the same, I know that they paid money to come see a show, but when you get that return, that's when you have an amazing experience.
Yeah.
Because everybody's in it. The the same level, and everybody's just on this weird plane, and it's like you don't even have to say anything. They just feel it, and you feel it too.
Yeah, if you go out there with a really great attitude, then they're gonna have one too, and you're all just gonna have a good time. And I think this tour has been a really good example of both vibes being crowd and performers being the same each night.